What's going on, 5'9" gaming trainers? My name is Liv, and today we're going to be covering a Pokemon Unite guide for one of the newest Pokemon released, Blissey. So, before we get started, of course, I want to give a quick shout out, as always, to JJ-kun for the extremely informative spreadsheet. All the resources will be linked down below. And as always, if you enjoy, make sure you leave a like, a comment on the video, and subscribe if you're new with notifications on, so you never miss a 5'9" gaming upload, Pokemon or otherwise. Without further ado, let's get right into the guide. Today we're covering Blissey, the newest support lending a helping hand to your team in Pokemon Unite. Blissey is as supportive as it gets, being able to boost your team's offenses as well as help clear debuffs and even heal your team. While Blissey's only been out for a few hours, I can confidently say that Blissey's easily one of, if not the very best support Pokemon you could choose in Pokemon Unite right now. Blissey's job is to support other Pokemon. Basically, it's the backbone of your team. With Blissey, your job will not be to become kill leader, MVP, or anything of that sort you'd normally aim for with a Pokemon such as Cinderace or Absol. Blissey's job, on the other hand, is to enable these Pokemon to become these roles, to protect your other Pokemon on the team and keep them alive as long as possible so they can break the opponents, because you certainly cannot do that. You'll actually have fairly decent endurance as well to help heal your teammates, so that way then, even if you are far away from them, you'll actually be able to keep them healthy, which is fairly helpful because in general you're not going to be right next to your teammates. So, in my opinion, I do find this very useful on Blissey. It's considered a novice character, and I do actually feel like this is pretty accurate to Blissey, in my opinion. As someone who, while I have played a bit of support before, it's not my forte, I felt like I was able to pick this Pokemon up very quickly, and I do definitely recommend this to anyone else who might be trying to learn support, or at least adjust to it for the first time. Let's start off with your basic attack, which is basically a melee attack that does more damage as time just goes on. You'll gain access to Pound or Heal Pulse at level 1, with the other unlocking at level 2. Pound is basically your basic attack, but better, and it hits over a small range. Meanwhile, Heal Pulse is able to restore yourself and nearby ally Pokemon during a short amount of time. I recommend Pound because you'll most likely get to level 2 pretty quickly. I've been getting to level 3 pretty quickly before even getting near an opposing Pokemon on the other team, or even 4 depending on the match. So I do feel like in most cases getting Heal Pulse first is pretty much just making it so you're leveling up slower. When Chansey evolves into Blissey at level 4, you'll unlock either Soft Boil or Safeguard. These will replace Heal Pulse and become your primary means of support until level 6. Soft Boil will throw eggs that heal within a small range, and this can be used to heal other Pokemon as well as yourself, as long as you just aim them correctly. This means it's not an area of effect move similar to Eldegoss's or even your Heal Pulse at a previous level that will heal in a small ring. You actually do have to aim this attack, similar to a move like Water Share Kid, to actually heal your teammates. So it is definitely something to keep in mind when using Blissey. Safeguard removes status conditions from ally Pokemon and makes you immune to debuffs for a short amount of time. I do recommend Soft Boil here because at the very least Blissey will naturally clear status conditions for itself already, and this is really the only healing that Blissey actually gets once you level up past Heal Pulse. So I do recommend this unless you're pairing it for some reason with Pokemon like Eldegoss, which at that point, I think it's less so I recommend the Heal Pulse. I recommend taking Eldegoss off the team if anything, because it's going to be a very clunky team composition. Your second upgrade comes in the form of upgrading Pound at level 6 for either Egg Bomb or Helping Hand. While at first it might seem logical to upgrade your attack for another attack, I do think this one ends up actually being a bit more ambiguous. Egg Bomb, as mentioned, is basically upgrading your actual Pound attack, and it does upgrade it for a bit more of a range attack with some exploding eggs, though I do find that Helping Hand is actually a very useful support option here. Helping Hand will actually boost the basic attacks for a small range of time, which I do find pretty useful as an actual support option, and objectively speaking, I do think this is actually the better attack. However, there is actually merit to using Egg Bomb in my opinion. For example, if you're in the solo queue and not actually communicating any sort of strategy with your teammates, it's a bit hard to sync up with them to actually utilize Helping Hand, so Egg Bomb could definitely be a useful choice here. Now we gotta get into Blissey's Unite move, which basically tosses an egg towards an ally Pokemon that will boost their attack and special attack for a short amount of time. It's basically Helping Hand 2.0 because this will boost the attack stats of both stats for Pokemon on your team, rather than just the basic attack you'll be utilizing. You'll also toss any Pokemon that run in the way of your dash towards your teammate, so that's definitely pretty useful because let's say, for example, there's a Garchomp right in front of the Greninja you're dashing towards, and you dash towards a Greninja successfully. You'll push the Garchomp just out of the way completely, which does help you actually get the Greninja specifically set up to damage your teammates, which does help with specifically setting up the Greninja to damage your opponents. Not only this, but if let's say your Greninja was taking hits from the Garchomp already, and you do set this up with the ultimate and it's at half health, you'll actually be still taking some of the damage that your opponents would be doing while the effect is activated through your ultimate, which is pretty useful to be honest, because especially for frailer Pokemon such as Greninja and Cinderace, this does allow them to actually take a hit or two and get off their buffed attacks. So this does definitely help with revenging off your opponent's offenses for sure, in my opinion. I think you should always go with Soft Boil here, as the only reason you would ever click Safeguard is if you're either paranoid about Gengar or if you have bad team composition. For your other slot, as I said, I would probably go with Helping Hand. However, if you're in solo queue, I think there is at least a merit for Egg Bomb here. Blissey's goal in the early game is to play bottom lane with a bit of a more offensive Pokemon. This could be something like Garchomp or an Absol, because these are generally just really good offensive breakers. And you'll want to quickly level up to level 4 before you let your teammate grind up. This is mostly so you can get Soft Will, which will actually heal them up, so that way then you can more successfully grind. Though getting to level 6 is also pretty good, because level 6 will allow your teammates to do more damage to your opponents, which is also very useful nonetheless. For items, I think this actually would have changed a bit if it was a couple days ago. However, because of the recent eject button nerf, I actually no longer find this to be the clear best item here. I think instead what I've personally been utilizing with great success, and I do recommend this to everyone else, I actually think a Slow Smoke should be the item of choice. Slow Smoke actually has a 40-second cooldown as opposed to eject button's 70-second cooldown currently. I think it's especially useful when pairing with Helping Hand because it'll create a ring that will actually target potentially multiple Pokemon and slow them down, which then you can use Helping Hand in tandem with that on a partner Pokemon, which will allow them to hopefully break the enemy easier. As for hot items, I've been utilizing the Assault Vest, Score Shield, and Buddy Barrier. Assault Vest is useful for boosting your special defense when you aren't in combat. It'll give you a shield that will nullify special attacks based on a certain percentage of your HP. This will range anywhere from 9 to 15%. Score Shield will give you a shield based on your maximum HP while you're scoring, which is very useful for Blissey to actually score goals a bit easier, especially while being a front line for other teammates that are a bit frailer, because you'll be able to hopefully start getting your opponents to target you first. Finally, the Buddy Barrier in general will just give you a nice HP buff, as well as giving the nearest ally Pokemon a shield based on the percentage of their HP while you're using your Unite move. I find this especially to be pretty useful because Blissey, from my experience, has been able to get off anywhere between 3 to 4 different Unite moves in a game, which is already pretty high in comparison to other Pokemon, but it's especially useful when trying to hit the Buddy Barrier because you're already trying to target a nearby Pokemon anyway, so not only will they get a shield, but in tandem with this, they'll actually also get an offensive boost because of the Unite move, which I find to be only that much more useful. In terms of strengths and weaknesses, I feel like Blissey's greatest weakness will always be the fact that you need another Pokemon with it. In my eyes, Blissey could have a spot as a potential S-rank character if it wasn't for this. However, the fact that you literally cannot do anything if you're alone is pretty useless, I'm not going to lie, for Blissey. Even Pokemon like Slowbro to an extent can put on pressure on alone, at least for a small period of time. Whereas Blissey, if you're alone, you're pretty much asking for a death sentence at that point, unless your teammates have weakened the Pokemon significantly for you. This can definitely be mitigated by just pairing Blissey with a really strong Pokemon, or just clicking Helping Hand because it can potentially boost your attacks. However, it really doesn't help much, in my opinion. Blissey does definitely act as a very strong defensive unit alone, however. If you're playing in your base at the very least, if you pair this in tandem with Soft Whale, as long as it's a 1v1 scenario against a Pokemon that's not boosting itself with an X attack, or a Pokemon like Lucario that can just boost its attack, you can definitely make it through most 1v1s in that case. In any 1v1 scenario, as long as your opponents aren't boosting your attack, whether it's with the X attack or with, let's say, Lucario's Power Punch, I do find that Blissey can definitely make it out of it as long as you're in your own base. However, as I said, you can't really push towards theirs because, one, you're not going to get the auto healing, and two, most likely they will be. And this does make 1v1s a lot more of a pain if you're by their base. However, towards yours, you can actually handle them pretty well while you wait for your teammates. Now, what Pokemon do you want to utilize with Blissey? Now, personally, I've been very fond of the combination of Garchomp and Blissey. I feel like with Garchomp's recent buffs especially, this makes a very strong offensive partner for Blissey, in my opinion. And I've been very impressed with this combination overall. I feel like though you can make any strong offensive Pokemon work, something like a Gardevoir, Absol, or Cinderace even all work very well because of the Helping Hand buff, as well as the recovery. I would avoid pairings that really involve any support Pokemon in the same lane at the very least. While you could totally pair a second support Pokemon on your total roster for a top lane route, I would never pair it with something like an Eldegoss if it is going to function in the bottom lane, because at that point, you're getting pretty redundant for your team composition, in my opinion. Now, in terms of Pokemon that have been difficult for Blissey, I find that the most difficult in a 1v1 scenario is Lucario, and I feel like this is just the most difficult overall. Lucario is one of the few Pokemon that has a move that can actually boost its attack. Other Pokemon like Greninja count as well, though I feel like Lucario has definitely been the most threatening to Blissey because of Power Punch specifically. I feel like there have been countless times where I've had Lucario on Blissey 1v1s and it's lived on a sliver HP and knocked me out with Power Punch only to score on me. I feel like there are other Pokemon that can definitely threaten as well, something like a Cinderace or an Absol. However, I feel like the one that I personally struggle the most with has been Lucario in a landslide. So as you can see, we have the Slowsmoke with the Buddy Barrier, the Score Shield, and the Assault Vest with the Slowsmoke, as I think I mentioned. If not, then oopsies. But yeah, so the gameplay basically, we're going to be sticking with the Garchomp, and we're going to be just trying to play a bit of defense and support. So good luck and fun to the opponents, of course. We have a pretty solid team, to be honest. To be fair, I queued intentionally with 3 of 4 people. Shoutouts to Lucas Burgo and Squeeze, aka Marcus, the 3 friends of mine who play the game a lot. And then we have a random Zera, and Zera's always a pretty broken character, to be fair, so you can't really go wrong with that. I'm going to be following Garchomp, though, because Garchomp, as mentioned in the guide, is a Pokemon I pretty much recommend with this. I was actually playing with this same Garchomp earlier, so we have a pretty established sort of formation that we usually go with. We usually just go with the bottom, and I try and evolve, so then I can help the Garchomp evolve. I feel like it's just a pretty good team comp to have, personally. As you can see, we're both leveling up pretty quickly. Like, we're about to hit level 2 now, and in 2 more levels, we're just going to evolve. So we're now level 3. We just need to go take out a couple more Autonos, and we should be set. So making this middle Autono really quickly, this middle Autono, for some reason I saw my Chansey, and I was like, no, I'm in Chansey, but no, I didn't mean Autono. Taking out the middle Autono, though, really early on definitely does help a lot, because it makes a difference actually between evolving early on and not evolving early on. So it's a pretty important Pokemon to get, which is why I do recommend going for the middle Autono as quickly as possible, because as you can see right here, we are just barely shy of evolving, whereas if we missed out on Autono, we would probably be about halfway to evolving at this level 3 mark. So now what we can do is we can definitely hide with the Gible really quickly. We can wait for the bees. Once the bees get over here, we can get our Blissey really quickly. Also, as I mentioned with the Heal Pulse, you get that before you even ever get into combat, which is very helpful to say the least. So we're going to go take out the Combees really quickly. As you can see, we're doing a decent amount of damage with Pound, actually hitting multiple enemies at once, which is actually really useful. Actually, no, that was just our basic attack, to be fair, but we have Soft Boil now, which is also very useful because we can heal up Pokemon like the Zeraora, for example, which we're actually going to go try and do stuff with. So our Zeraora right here is playing a bit cautiously. I'm not sure why they didn't rush, because the 2 of us together could have probably handled them. But I will say, with their Blissey, that might be a lost cause. So I'm going to actually Slowsmoke really quick for the Zera specifically, so it can get away. I clicked the wrong button. Okay, that's on me. I clicked the wrong button. I clicked Pound instead of Soft Boil. That is something I will never get used to. I will be 100% honest about that. That is something that always throws me off. But overall, though, we're just going to try and get a bit more levels, because the big thing we want to get is Helping Hand. Helping Hand is immensely useful, in my opinion. It really does make or break Blissey, especially knowing who you're queuing with. While I'm not necessarily in call with these people, I have already communicated a game plan, a general one at the very least, to stick with the Gible, who is currently grinding up to a good bite right now. And I'm just going to try and Helping Hand boost that as much as possible, because I do think that is the ideal strategy to go with. So we're going to really quickly Slowsmoke over here so that we can't get to the goal. Right now, the Gible is finishing off. I'm going to really quickly try and heal up my teammates. Sadly, we were not able to reach the Gible. Not the biggest concern in the world, but we can definitely heal up in here. We can, as we could see, for example, I was able to, at the very least, take out the Blissey, which should be decent. It's not going to make or break necessarily, but we can definitely, in tandem, do some damage. Now, I will say they will probably be able to take me out here, but it's fine. We were able to at least get to level 6, which will help a lot in general. So now that we have Dreadnought spawned, our goal is to take out Dreadnought as quickly as possible. So we're going to quickly go rush for that Dreadnought. And while we do that, the goal should be to Helping Hand boost the Gabite and the Zeraora as much as possible, because the more that we do that, the quicker they can take out the Dreadnought, and the less risk that we have in general. So I'm going to quickly Helping Hand boost. As we said, we just barely get to the Zera, making it so we take out the Cramorant. And now we should be able to ideally take out the Dreadnought. We just need the Zeraora to come back down here. But for now, at the very least, we can keep ourselves pretty healthy while we take out the Dreadnought. Zeraora looks like it's actually trying to keep them away, which I'm perfectly content with. Now that Gabite is here, we can actually do some damage to them. So our goal will be to just try and keep the Gabite and the Zeraora taking them out. I will keep the Cramorant busy. And yeah, we got sniped, so that actually kind of sucks. Oh, I actually recognize the Blissey there. Oh, that's my good pal Flame Horizon. I didn't realize he played this game. Well, regardless though, we're gonna slow smoke really quickly. They definitely got us there. That is kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. They broke our goal. We still have some decent levels at the very least, albeit we're a bit behind. But sometimes you just get sniped. That's what happens when your opponents play rage characters. We're going to follow with the Zera at the very least and try and just boost that up. Because as you can see, Helping Hand gives a huge damage boost, which is why I do recommend it highly. Especially with characters that are very offensive like Zera Aura. Nav isn't even a character we're communicating with either, which as I mentioned was the only niche for Egg Bomb, was specifically dealing with that. So we're going to ult here specifically so the Zera can take them out as comfortably as possible, because that is not something I really want to play around with. So we take out the Blissey now, and we're going to take out the Zera, albeit I think we're going to... we just barely made it out. Okay, so I'm going to get a bit of distance so I can get some soft builds. Okay, never mind. They apparently hit me in the grass. That is rough. That is very rough. But it's fine. We're keeping them busy down here at the very least, which is pretty important, because we've broken a goal up there. We're going to go back towards the bottom, and we're going to just try and Helping Hand boost the Zera, because again, that's the very important thing. Boosting the Zera and they could bite. We could probably break a goal down here now, which is useful. So I think it is our plan. We're just going to break this goal down here. I should be able to Helping Hand boost them to easily take out the Blissey, and while they do that, I'm going to keep the Blissey occupied, and then we're going to just try and score. There we go, Helping Hand plus now. And we're just going to boost the Zera Aura at this point. Okay, and sadly the Zera Aura died. That is very unfortunate. I hope that the bite takes out the Cramorant really quickly and evolves, and it just barely missed. Oh, okay, that kind of sucks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait at my base, because I want to make sure that I'm going down there with someone else. So, like, when the Zera gets over here, for example, we can rush down now, because I can definitely frontline for it, and then we can hopefully go towards them. Ideally, we're going to get the Dreadnought before them this time. I really don't want them to get it twice in a row, because that would really suck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually set up a slow smoke down here, and we'll take them out as quickly as possible. As you can see, we were able to take out the Zera Aura really efficiently. We're going to again try and, I'm going to try and unite my Zera really quickly, because now Zera can just focus on keeping them away. The Garchomp should do a pretty sufficient job damaging them, and we were able to get the Dreadnought this time, which is really helpful, to be honest. Now we can definitely break this bottom goal. I really see little reason why we wouldn't be able to be honest. Especially with all these Helping Hand boosts I've been dropping. So while we not necessarily aren't the ones scoring, we're definitely keeping them away from scoring as well. We've also broken more goals than they have, which is pretty beneficial. We're going to try and get off a slow smoke really quickly over here. Sadly, it didn't work as well as I was anticipating, but it's not a huge deal. We're going to really quickly just try and keep them a bit busy. I was hoping to keep them busy so the Venu can get some distance, but sadly that did not work out as well as I was hoping. Though at the very least, it took out Zera, so that's pretty good. We're almost at the Zapdos point, so at the Zapdos point, the game plan will basically be, again, just try and keep them from getting Zapdos, because we are ahead. So we don't really want to damage it. And we can definitely support our teammate in just taking them out. Maybe if they all have to respawn, we'll take out Zapdos, but realistically, that's probably not going to be our primary goal. Our primary goal will honestly just be to try and score what we have while keeping them away, or even just keeping our lead in general, whether we're scoring or not. I'm just going to take out these bees because it just helps us get our Unite really quick, and also Soft Boil Plus, which is never really a bad thing to have. We're going to just try and keep distance from this Cram. I'm actually going to go straight for the middle right now, because at the very least, unless if their Cram gets a lot of points, I'm not really too concerned with it. And again, I can just try and keep them away. All I need to do is keep them away specifically, which is definitely my goal. So Garchomp is coming over here. I'm just going to try and Helping Hand boost that, because we can use that to help pressure them a bit more. So now that the Garchomp has this boost, that should be pretty helpful. I'm going to actually Unite move really quickly on our team, because that should be our most useful tactic right now. We can now take out the Zera Aura efficiently with this. Not the Zera Aura, the Crustle with this efficiently. We should also be able to totally pressure their team as well with our Unite moves, as well as our just Helping Hand boosts. Now again, our game plan should be to just try and boost our team as much as possible so they can take out their team quicker. So we're going to really quickly just, again, boost up. They sadly got the Dreadnought, which is very unfortunate. Not the Dreadnought, the Zapdos, which is definitely very unfortunate. But at the same time, though, they only have the Ninetales actually left to score, at least for any substantial points. Like, the Crustle only got 40 points there, for example, when we took out the Ninetales right here. So it's not a huge deal, albeit it is definitely a bit more concerning. However, we should definitely be able to at least score, and then we have enough time, actually, which is great. I'm going to really quick play defense down here, because I don't actually... Oh, never mind, I actually have a lot of points. Okay, I'm going to go for top, actually, because I don't see a lot of them... Oh, never mind, now they're going for top. I'm going to go for the bottom, then. So, I'm going to really quick go to the bottom. I think it is in my best interest, for sure. Because going for the bottom lane, it seems like they're all actually going for the top right now. So, we're going to go for the bottom really quickly. I'm actually going to try and... Oh, never mind. I'm going to go around. I was going to try and cut through that way. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to anymore. Really hoping they're actually not by here. But I totally think that Kramer is going to try and get by here. Maybe we can actually score really quickly. Come on, come on, come on. Don't be nearby, don't be nearby, don't be nearby. And 92. Thank God they were not actually nearby. I really thought they were going to be, like, right by here. So, we were likely able to actually score a really substantial goal at that end. That might have actually taken the win for us, because we were pretty close. See that? We won right off of my goal, actually, which is pretty incredible, to be honest. So we'll definitely take that. I think it was a really solid showcase, personally. I think that the Blissey definitely did its job, albeit I was a bit aggressive at times. But overall, I mean, that's part of just learning a new character. It literally came out earlier today. The 92 definitely really sealed there. 3 kills, from what I found, is pretty average for Blissey. Quite literally, my average for range anywhere between like 1 to 5 a game. The assist, that's actually rather low. Usually I've been getting around like 8 to 10 a game. It's a very, very assist-heavy character, though I will say, obviously, some of those assists were taken away from the actual kills we got. But yeah, you're not really focusing on that, though. If we go to, if we hit the next really quickly, and we just go to the home, you should be able to actually see the healing that we did, which I think is the more substantial number, because it shows really what you're supposed to be doing. So we're going to hit the L button really quick, because I do think it's kind of important to show this. So we're going to go to battle record here. And as you can see for our details, we healed up 59,000, 45.2% of the entire healing this game, which is really your goal. You're really just meant to heal. So I think with that in mind, we definitely did a job well done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the battle. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the guide. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to 5-Man Gaming with notifications on so you get notified of every time the 5-Man Gaming upload happens, whether you Unite or otherwise. Also, let us know if you've been looking to buy Blissey or what build you've been using if you have been using Blissey. Finally, of course, if you've been enjoying Blissey, comment that down below as well. We'd love to hear your thoughts on the Pokemon regardless. With that said, we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, guys.